Hello and welcome to Moments in History. I'm Linda Shenton-Matchett, author, speaker, and history geek. While researching my stories, I unearth tons of intriguing information that does not end up in my stories, so I've created this channel to share those with you. Today, we'll be making wartime meals, and if you'll stay tuned to the end of the video, the recipe card will be included. Thanks for watching.
Smile.
We'll be making dessert out of Lola Wyman's Better Meals in Wartime. An easy recipe that only calls for a handful of ingredients and should be quite easy to make. It's called Applesauce Pudding for 8. Intriguingly, we're going to mix applesauce with egg yolks and put that in a baking dish, and then we'll make a meringue and put that on top of the applesauce mixture before we bake it. Should be quite yummy. Stay tuned to the end of the video for the recipe card for this recipe.
Okay, so this recipe calls for whipped egg whites. Very important when you're mixing and whipping egg whites to not get any oil in them at all. That will cause the whipped egg yolks to break. I'm going to break the eggs over this cup, letting the whites go into the cup, put the yolks in the baking dish, and then the whites in the whipping dish. And if you notice, I will keep them separate the whole time so we don't risk any contamination of the egg yolk into the egg white. It's also very important, we can recover from that, when you're breaking eggs, don't hit them on a sharp corner. That can make the egg shell impact into the egg, and always use a smooth surface, a flat surface to break your egg. Oh, I just love yolks. But they're coming out nice. I haven't broken a yolk yet, so that's nice. Put our egg whites in there. So down on the first one. Last egg calls for 3 eggs. I do this incorrectly. Okay, we have 3 egg yolks, 3 egg whites separated. Interestingly, the recipe just called to start mixing your egg yolks, beating your egg yolks. Didn't talk about separating them at all. Just says 3 eggs and ingredients and then beat the egg yolks. So we kind of inferred that you have to separate them first.
So beat the egg yolks and then add the applesauce.
Typically when a recipe calls for beating egg yolks, yolks can start to change color. Right now they're very orange. They'll start to turn a lemony color. There they go. And this calls for 3 cups of applesauce, which is the entire contents of this jar of applesauce. Very convenient.
Be sure to beat the mixture very well, incorporating the eggs into the applesauce.
I've never, I mean, this is almost like a custard. Never done applesauce and eggs with just like this. And it doesn't add any flour, which I find fascinating also. Very unique. But that might have been a wartime challenge. I mean, this is using ingredients that are available, easily available during wartime. What's next?
Next step is to make the meringue by beating the egg whites, adding the salt to them, and beating them until stiff but not dry.
Okay, so I just used this to beat egg yolks. I have to wash this thoroughly before I do anything with the whites.
Make the meringue by beating the egg whites, adding the salt to them, and beating until stiff but not dry. This is 1/8 of a teaspoon salt.
Obviously, in today's age, we normally use a mixer to do this. We don't have a mixer with us, so I get to do it the way I did in cooking school. Not quite a quarter or an eighth. No, I want half that. Put some on my shoulder.
Beat them until stiff but not dry. Then we'll start to add the sugar very slowly, a teaspoon at a time.
I'm going to cut a lot of this video out because this is a slow process. You can leave it going if you want, but... Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, this is what you call soft peaks. I pull it out and they peak up and stand up. How much? 6? Let's say
Just
6?
a teaspoon at a time.
Okay, when you pull that off, yeah. Put it in. I'll just, yeah.
Is the sugar for flavor or texture or?
A little of both, but mostly flavor. It will add some stability to the egg whites also. Yeah, okay.
Last one?
Last one. How long is this baked for?
Okay, once the meringue is finished, you're going to spread that over top of the pudding. The dish will be set in a pan of hot water and will be baked in a slow oven about 15 minutes. Slow oven being 300 degrees.
Okay, so I'm going to just put all the meringue on, then we're going to do some peaks with a spatula after we get it on there. And that's what the dish looks like. Oh, I can't tilt it because of the applesauce. It looks good.
Do we put this in the oven and then it's on top, or do we put
Do the whole
this
thing
in?
at once. You open the oven for me, that'd be great.
I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to learn even more history, please stop by my blog, found at www.lindashentonmatchit.com. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube or Spotify channels, Moments in History, to see and hear new episodes that are generally released on the second and fourth Friday of every month. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.